Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Reframe. I'm back. I'm back home. I'm back after feeling ill for the whole week. Well, 5 days actually. Uh, I feel super energized considering that I've been very poorly with cold-like symptoms, but lots like heavy headaches and things like that. But I think it's when you feel poorly, you really value your health and your energy, and I don't know if it happens to you, but it's like that feeling of, will I ever feel good again? Will I ever get my energy back? And yeah, everything shall pass. So I'm very pleased to be back here, and I wanted to say thank you everyone for watching. I get a lot of messages saying that they watch the replay and that they resonate and that what I share is helping people. In one of my posts this week, I shared that a message from someone saying that the answer I provided to one of the questions was really helpful. And that made me think of something that I usually think about, which is how even if we help one person, I think I replied to this person, even if we help one person, that is so important because the ripple effect is amazing. If you help one person, that person feels better about themselves. They go about in life being better people, to others, and being kinder and making better decisions, making better choices, being more present, perhaps with themselves, with their children, in their relationships, if they manage people. So I think it's really important, never underestimate the power of helping one person. And along these lines, I wanted to share an anecdote, something that happened today. I went back to the gym after this week. I've not been doing any training, and that's okay because my approach to training is really laid back, especially after having trained for the marathon. I incorporated all the like well-being and what it means to be healthy and fit and making aligned choices. So for me, there was never pressure. Yeah, of course, training for the marathon, there was a bit of pressure because you have to build up this fitness. Uh, that is if you want to have a good experience, because I know many people that don't train much, and I did that with my half marathon. And I think for the best experience possible, training consistency is key. It doesn't mean that you have to have an exhaustive plan and a training plan, but okay, my point is I incorporated these healthy habits and fitness habits. So for me, going back to the gym today, it meant really wanting to feel good again and feeling, oh, now I have energy again. Why not hit the gym? And I go to the gym and I do half-hour classes, lifting, strength training, basically, which is something that is highly recommended, particularly when you hit your 40s and you start going through perimenopause. And I think it's been at any age is really good, but I think it's super important when we start doing it now. So, well, anyway, for me, it was like, yes, I'm so ready for the gym session. I jogged there a little bit, then I did my gym session with this teacher and other people in the class. And after the class, when were putting away the equipment, a lady came to me and said, "Can I just say you have the most amazing back?" And that was really like, I know nobody ever complimented my back. And so we started chatting. And this lady said, well, we shared our journeys. Like I said, I don't train a lot. I come here, like I've not been for the last week. I was on holidays for 2 weeks. But I do want to keep a regular relationship with health and fitness. And so we started talking. So, and we talked about the ripple effect as well, because it turns out she's a therapist. She lives the neighborhood next to mine, so kind of local. The conversation was amazing. So we started walking together towards the same direction, and we have the same passion. So we help people with the same topics, really. Um, she's a trained counselor and therapist, and basically the topic of so I shared I was a mindset coach, and this is what she started sharing what she was doing, and but then we realized we had the topic of spirituality in common as well, and how we both a few years ago we used to think, ah, no, that's not for us, and now how it is life changing to start seeing life, that we are feeling that we are being supported by like a higher force, and that doesn't mean that we don't do anything, but we start making aligned choices. And I don't know, it was beautiful. There were little hints in the conversation, because when we were sharing that I did train for the marathon, and I said, well, if anything, I thought my legs were a bit more, like shaped or stronger because I did training for a race. And then she shared that she did the Manchester full marathon once, and she told me the experience for her, how it was like disappointing in a way, the fact that she had a time set in her mind, and that she felt disappointed that she didn't achieve that. And I said, well, that's interesting, because I've been reading in like the London Marathon Facebook group, where I am part of, that happened to many people feeling disappointed in themselves because they didn't achieve something, an outcome that they had in their minds. So that adds a lot of pressure. So when she said that when she did the Manchester Marathon, she said, I'm never doing one again. And I said, I felt exactly the same the minute I crossed the finish line, because of the pain. The pain is brutal, really. It took me 5 hours nearly, so I'm running. So obviously everything starts aching. And I said, but you know what? A few days later, 3 days later, when the pain eased off, I did go on the ballot and signed and registered for next year's. And I said, if the universe wants me to do it, I think there is a 10% chances that I get in the ballot, and I'll do it. And so that, because I said universe, we carried on talking. We left the gym, and in the conversation, this is when we realized that we had also like this. We have this spirituality in common. It's not something that I said at the beginning, or she didn't say it at the beginning, but it's like, oh, when you mentioned about the universe, I realized that you are like one of mine. And she told us before we went separate ways, she said to me, last week I asked the universe to present me with a person that I could share these topics with, because I don't feel I can talk about all these things I'm passionate about: personal development, mindset, coaching, therapy, healing our wounds. And she said, and here you are. And honestly, it was beautiful. And also, I said, see how the universe works. I didn't wear a t-shirt saying mindset is everything. You came to talk to me about my back, a part of my physical body. And this led to a conversation. We hit it off straight away, and it turns out we have a lot in common, and we would really love to continue talking. So yes, I just wanted to share that. Oh, because also as well, she said, talking about the ripple effect, sorry, this was the whole thing to tell you about the ripple effect. She said that this week she had been in conversations with about this topic, the ripple effect, because, for example, she was talking with a group of people, and there was a coffee shop owner saying, "Oh yeah, when it's raining, a few people come to the coffee shop, and yeah, that's a bit demotivating because it's not busy." And she said exactly this. Look, if one person comes to your coffee shop and feels good about themselves because they are in a cozy atmosphere, they have a nice coffee, then they go to work, and they are in a better mood. They feel better about themselves. So we like absolutely agreed about the if we can impact or help one person, the ripple effect is amazing. So, okay, that was like a bit of my introduction for today. Because I didn't have any questions for today. I took it easy this week and I didn't post much. Um, I decided to just come and talk. And I think it's a good experimenting as well, because the way I've been doing it so far is I've been writing down the questions and I've been preparing the answers, and then I've been reading a bit and also giving my spontaneous whatever came to my mind. But now I only wrote a few bullet points. So yeah, this week, the other thing I wanted to expand, because I already been talking about this in the post, is the importance of listening to our bodies. And years ago, I think it was probably about 12 years ago, I read on a magnet on the fridge of my ex-boyfriend's mom's house. She had this magnet saying, "The body speaks what the mouth keeps shut." And I remember looking at that magnet and thinking, wow, it's amazing. And then there was a little bit of description of all the illnesses, that all the symptoms that we manifest in the body, but what it means emotionally. And at the time I was thinking, wow, this is so true. I felt, I didn't study that at the time, but then I felt, oh my God, it makes so much sense why people are, they have different symptoms, and they normally they just go to the doctor and they get some patch the symptom, carry on. I think I talked about this last week as well. But because this week I was poorly myself, I wanted to bring this up again. The importance of slowing down, stopping, and how this is linked to nervous system regulation, self-worth, and self-esteem. How we are not really taught or used to or trained to be tuned into our bodies, and instead we are taught to push through, especially for high achievers. I identify myself as one, and I've always been more than high achiever, the kind that goes above and beyond, bent over backwards, totally unhealthy ways, to get external validation, like I said last week as well. But I think it's so important to go on and on about this. That's why this week, when I was going to launch this program that I've been working on, I was in Spain until Saturday. And then I thought, yeah, that's it. Saturday afternoon, Sunday, I'll start like refining the final bits. And Monday is going out. My program, Reclaim Your Body with Your Mind. But because I started that Saturday night, I wasn't feeling well. And it came like all of a sudden, because I was fine in the morning. I just felt, no, I can't. And then I thought, well, no, but is it procrastination? Is it fear of doing something new, of putting this offer out there that I know is going to help a lot of people already, people that are not happy with their weight, or with the fact that what they are doing also is not working, because they are doing, like the exercises or the diets, but nothing works for a long time. It's not lasting effect. Everything goes back to, it's like going back to square one. So I think it's really important, and I'm going to explain more in a bit why I think that program is going to help a lot of people. So linking this to the fact that I was poorly myself and I had a job to do. Obviously, I had lots of conflicting and confusing thoughts, because I was like, well, no, but I have to show up. I said I would show up. Why am I not able to show up? Why am I not good enough? Like starting to touching the topic of self-worth and self-esteem as well, which is, I think, for me, one of the main topics in my particular case, and I think is across the board for many people. when we're linking our self-worth to external achievements. So it made me realize that I had a lot of things because of self-awareness. I go through, okay, what's going on in my life? What are my emotions also telling me? What? So I also kind of write down my thoughts, because it's really interesting when we are in our head too much. It's all, doesn't it feel like chaotic? And it's like, oh my God, what's going on? It's busy up there. But I think what it is like if you start taking a bit of distance and writing down what comes up, you become like this detective to understand what's going on for you. And I'll cover now in a minute what the 3 steps for my program. But I think discovering those things, so the 3 steps to get into this, now to the bottom of it. So yes, my immune system went down, perhaps because of the stress of putting together the offer and being ready to launch on Monday. But also, I think I realized by analyzing what's going on in my life, I've been going through a lot since the last year, and I wrote a post about it. Losing my job, moving house, going through a house renovation, and I know many people that I follow on LinkedIn have been going through a house renovation recently, and it's really mind blowing. It's crazy. Uh, on top of that, going through perimenopause, I started symptoms last year, but I didn't realize, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. The same with ADHD. I didn't realize what I was experiencing was symptoms of ADHD, and clearly in the last year or maybe a little bit more, I realized I'm neurodivergent, even though I'm not diagnosed. So I think it's self-awareness to see exactly, okay, what is really going on. Yes, okay, yeah, maybe it's a mindset thing, and maybe it's a procrastination thing that I'm getting a bit reluctant to put this offer natural as well. But it was unfair to say to myself, Claudia, you're not good enough because you're not putting this offer as, I don't know, like the entrepreneur or founder that you are. Well, yes, okay, but okay, who's pushing me? Who is really gonna benefit from me doing it under pressure with my body shutting down? Nobody. And I share this so you can relate. And if you're going through similar things, whether in your own company or in your own business or working for somebody, please, health is the most important thing we have. Like when we do gratitude exercises, I am always thankful for the health, because health is the foundation. If you don't have a health, you don't have anything. So I think it's realizing what's going to happen if I don't deliver this as I said I would. Who am I letting down? Because many times we don't want to let other people down, but we let ourselves down. And that is linked to that low self-worth, low self-esteem. That we think it's okay to mistreat ourselves, to put everyone and everything first before ourselves. So what I wanted to also say regarding to this, when we are in a better place within ourselves, we can face any challenges with grace. And this is a little bit of that summary that I was making about everything that I've been going through in the last year or so, which is not even the full list. But with self-awareness and having worked on my self-esteem, my self-worth, and having learned to regulate my nervous system, to identify what is good for me and what is not good for me, then you start making choices aligned with who you are and who you want to look after, which is always has to be you first and foremost. I know if you have children, it's a tricky one because children depend on us, But again, it's like on the airplane, you have to put your mask first. So I think I'm doing really well with timing, because maybe in this last 10 minutes I can, so according to my bullet points, I can talk about the program and how it's all related anyway. But so yeah, the program I'm going to be launching, and again, I'm not putting a lot of pressure on me, because even though I feel better, I want to be at my best to launch this. And the beauty of working for myself is I don't have to do what somebody else tells me to do, or be afraid of performance review, or salary increase dependent on performance. Yeah, I know what works best for me, where I am at my best, how I can give the best value to the people I help, and that means being at my best first. So the program is called Reclaim Your Body with Your Mind, and it's about reclaiming your ideal body, but not ideal as the media or what other people, like, make you believe, oh, this is the body to have. First of all, because we are all different, different sizes, shapes, and even like in internal other health or things that are going on. We're all unique, not just when I talk about authenticity, it's also about respecting and acknowledging who we are. So the idea of the body, like why I think it's important to have a body that you love and that you are comfortable with, that you like, not only in the mirror, but what it does for you, because our body is our tool. Yeah. So this, I'm sure it will be very, very familiar to many, particularly women, feeling exhausted, having digestive issues, um, feeling that we can't, there's no enough hours in the day. And if the body is not energized, if the body is not strong, light as well, in the sense of like lightness, it's not about the shape at all. It's about like a feeling of like you're not dragging yourself around or along, like in the morning, oh my God, this day, how am I gonna face today? That is what I mean about the body, reclaiming our body. Then with the mind, because our mind, and this is something that we talk about maybe more with mindset and identity, rewiring our brain. And I think it's really important to put what outcome we want to achieve in this program, okay? Because I was leaving all my work a little bit like broad and general, which is okay, it's good, because it's a holistic approach, it's all mind, body, and soul. And but I thought, well, if I don't have something, the outcome, the dream, what people are looking, um, then who is gonna know? Oh yeah, I resonate with that. And the thing with the weight loss, and having the body that you want, I think is a topic that is very common nowadays. Is lots of people are struggling with, and this is not just for women; it's also for men, or gender, whatever identity they want to identify with. But the fact that people are not happy with their image, with the energy, with what their body does for them, it's like the mind goes fast, the body doesn't follow. Not only in that sensation, but also in the appearance, and people are not happy. So because this is happening a lot, I want to help people with that. And also, I think I have done that myself last year. This is a transformation I've also achieved and experienced for myself. So I have, like I said last week, my best case study yet, like in full transformation. I am helping other people already with this, and I'm getting the testimonials soon about all, like how you transform even anxiety. into like use into the best version of you. So when that the overthinking goes, or at least you tame it or you start softening, and then you feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go for a run. I'm gonna go to the gym. Sometimes I don't know if it's ever happened to any of you, but when I used to be on rumination and overthinking mode, I wanted to stay in bed with my eyes open, looking at the ceiling, and like, okay, let me just think about all these things that I need to figure out. I need to, like work out, or how am I going to solve all these problems? How I'm going to like replaying conversations from past conversations. I remember this when I was at work with my manager, with my colleagues. What did I do? What did I say? And then thinking, okay, how am I going to approach the next one? And I remember feeling like this, insomnia, anxiety. I didn't feel like exercising at all. I was exhausted, drained, depressed, even. So no wonder that you can't really, look after yourself. It's like a very negative cycle. So I just briefly will cover the 3 steps. The first one for the program is self-awareness, who we are, what we want, and for example, who we are. We think we know who we are because we have this personality, this, oh, this is how I am. But that is many times the vision of who we are is tainted, is the word I think in English. That's not really who we are. We think we are this high achiever, or this, or like, I'm a mom, I look after everybody. Do I look after myself? Also, what do I want? Again, many times we think we want, oh, whatever they are having, because they seem to be having a great time, especially on socials. Everyone seems to having a great life. So I'll have a bit of that, please. But is that really our dream? So for me, over the years, I never knew what I wanted. I wanted not to be in the situation I was, mainly because I was in fight or flight. I recognize now with the nervous system awareness that I was in fight or flight, and I just didn't want to be even in my skin. Yeah, that's why I became more like a fixer, and I just want everything to be fine. And so yeah, that's one step, and there is a lot more to cover about that, but yeah, knowing who we are, what we want, and making sure that we look after ourselves. Then step 2, self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is, okay, first in the first step we see who we are, even if there are things that we don't like about ourselves. First we have to accept, because if we resist or fight whatever we're going through, the parts of us that we don't like, it's going to be harder. And accepting doesn't mean, right, I just resign and this is what I got, and I'll just carry on. No, it's part of the work, and this is the work that I've been helping people with, helping and guiding through the self-acceptance, because it's difficult when you're like, oh, doesn't make sense that I have to accept this that I kind of reject about myself. But that's part of the integration, embracing all the parts of us. That's why I love shadow work as well, which I'm going to cover a little bit more about what it is. Yeah, the emotions and the self-awareness really will help us build a solid foundation. And this step 3 is radical responsibility and aligned action. So now it's not about, right, okay, I see what my situation is, and now I'm going to let the universe take care of me. No, that's not quite right. That's not quite the complete picture. Radical responsibility is saying, okay, yeah, I know what I want now. What do I have to let go of in my life? And that's like the boundary setting, limits. What does not longer serve me? And yes, stopping those things. I know it's hard, and we're going to expand, but this is what it means. It's really having discernment to know what's not longer good and what I put my focus. And aligned action, yes, is taking aligned action with the things that we've identified, and then we take action. We we need to be coherent, yes, and yeah, this journey, this program is 12 weeks, and I'm going to be sharing more next week, but I wanted to have the chance to share with you all more or less what I've been working on, and say hi and say I'm back, and say I'm proud of myself for not pushing through being poorly, and it's for the best. And look how I went to the gym today, found this person telling me, everything I shared at the beginning. I think these are the signs really that we are being aligned with ourselves. So thank you so much for tuning in, and see you next week. Bye.